I know what I want to do with my life.
Oh man, that's a tough one. I feel like a lot of young people, especially during late 20s, you go to this stage.
Yes.
So is college still worth it? Man, that's something that I think a lot of people are wondering, especially young people that are considering college for the future. And to be honest with you, I've heard a lot of people, it's becoming almost very trending and popular and cool to just bash college. And so I found this really cool video that provides perspectives from a couple of people, college graduates and college dropouts. And I want to see what they have to say. Let's watch it together. And then I'm going to give you my take as we go along.
I just feel like a lot of people out here just getting degrees by luck or by cheating their way through. If that was the case and college was so accessible, I just feel like we'll have a lot of wannabes.
True. It's a good point. Let's see what's up. We brought college graduates and dropouts together to spot similarities.
Kind of my college grads on that side and my dropouts on the other side.
For those of you watching for the first time, by the way, I am a college graduate, mechanical engineering, 2012, Virginia Tech.
First statement. I feared how I would be judged if I didn't go to college.
Never. In fact, I didn't want to go to college. I wanted
Just
to be.
me, man. That's cool.
I wanted to be different. When I was 17, I was like, I don't want to go to college, and I actually ended up going to college.
It was the fear of me caring about what people thought, as far as like my peers. But then when you start bringing your parents into it, and it's like, that's a greater fear. It's like you live for your parents. It's like, you know, you want to make them proud. So I just fear this closure between me and my parents, you know.
Yeah, that's so true. Like, I feel like when your parents just expect you to go to college, when they just expect you to take the next step, if you don't go, you just kind of have this fear that they're going to be disappointed in you. So I can totally understand where this guy's coming from.
Yeah.
I am Sean Fitzpatrick. I went to Columbia, Chicago for not even a semester, and I was like, no, you know what? Let's go back to California and do music.
California.
I went because they wanted me to go, and then I said, if you want me to make you proud, let me do this.
Non-agreeers, come on in.
I wasn't afraid that I would be judged if I didn't go to college, but I also didn't question going to college. It was just kind of
that's
the
a good
next
point.
step, and I didn't plan otherwise.
I think like a lot of people just don't question
Yeah.
it and just go for it.
Seemed like it was the next step.
Yeah.
Especially if that's all you see. Like it's happened to me, to be completely honest with you. I saw my siblings go to college. My dad went to college, and so I was like, okay, well, especially also because when I started going to college, I had just moved to the United States, and so I didn't really have any friends. And so it also helped me escape home, per se, in quotes, and kind of like start making friends and start a social life all over.
And you're encouraged by your parents.
Exactly.
And
They gave me that pathway of saying, you know, the only way you're going to succeed is through college. But then as I got older,
Right.
they gave me the idea, well, you can do whatever you want if you
Sometimes
find
you
your
don't
path,
know.
though.
Yeah.
You need to find your path. But if you don't, you should go to college at the end of the day.
I believe college should be free.
Oh, man, that question. I feel like people should have some type of skin in the game. They got to be held accountable.
I had an in-state, like, all of my tuition was paid for, and I still have debt. Now I'm sitting on it, and I don't have a job. Not like a real job.
Yeah, the debt definitely racks up.
It's ridiculous.
No, that's true. But that becomes an investment in the future. You
That's
would
true.
hope, at the end
If
of
you
the
get
day,
a good
so you
degree.
have to take that on.
You have your education, but does your like
Wasn't
bachelor's
worth that
degree
much.
get you a higher paying job?
If you get a good degree,
Not in my experience necessarily.
that's true. It's also going to depend on people's experience. Obviously, the field that you get into, that's all going to determine whether or not your investment in college is actually an investment or turns out being a waste of money and time. You know, so we have to be careful when we're thinking about going to college and kind of look at the projections, look at the chances of you getting a job if you're competitive enough, if you meet minimum requirements. Because if the market doesn't need your degree, then I would reconsider not just college, but maybe the field that I'm getting into, you know, so.
I didn't even question going to college until after I had finished it. I was like, what do I do now? And why did I even go? And, you know.
If everyone went to college, it would become useless.
Not necessarily. I think there's a lot of fields. If everyone got into the same field, for sure. But there's a ton of fields in college that people
Just feel like a lot of people out here just getting degrees by luck or getting degrees by cheating their way through. And if that was the case and college was so accessible, I just feel like we'll have a lot of wannabes and not people who are really passionate about, what they want to do or dedicating sweat, bones, and tears into what they're doing. So the world would, I don't think, would be a better place if everyone was just a degree.
Yeah, I totally agree with him. Not everybody wants to go to college. Not everybody has to go to college. There are plenty of other ways that you can earn a decent living. There's a lot of trade schools out there that teach plumbing, that teach that teach you to be an electrician, a technician in general, a welder, a machinist. And so, especially nowadays with the proliferation of the internet and obviously the digital age that we're in, there's a lot of other paths that you can take, and you don't have to go to college to earn those skills. So I think that's the point that he's making. And I do agree that we, of course, need everyone in society. We need carpenters, we need the plumbers, we need people that also don't go to college, but they help society run in one way or another. So I agree with him.
Did you just get converted?
I changed my mind. Because I guess
Hey, it's okay to
then
change your mind.
you don't think of it. It's not college. You're just doing it.
And think about labor workers, like people that just do manual labor. You don't need a degree to do some manual labor work. So if you have everyone, sticking their heads in a book, we won't have stuff being built. Your house won't be built. Your cars won't be fixed. Your oil change. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to realize that in life, especially in the world, it's a balance of people. Like,
The balance. All about that
I'm from a
balance.
minority, underrepresented, disenfranchised. And in my college experience, the higher I got, the less people that look like me that I saw. So the more people that look like me in college would make me so happy. That's what I'm saying. So it's tremendous to see more people going to college.
but you have to realize that this is if. You have to realize a lot of people don't want to.
They don't
These are the
have
people who
to.
want to.
But if more people did, then it would be a good thing.
I just think that college education, if everyone had it, I don't think it would make the degree itself useless. I think it
exactly.
would
That
just,
was, I think, that one part.
Oh no, I think we were taking it off a pedestal, not making it meaningless.
Yeah, I think that it wouldn't be a waste if people actually took advantage of the education that are given. If people are taught to learn, or they're taught things that actually will be useful in their lives, that they're actually going to put to good use, then it wouldn't be a waste. But if they're just going to go and hang out and just not finish school and then just not take advantage of the opportunities that are given, and they're going to be taught nonsense, then of course it's going to be a waste.
I know what I want to do with my life.
Oh man, that's a tough one. I feel like a lot of young people, especially during late 20s, you go to this stage.
Yes.
Also after high school.
I'm still figuring it out, but I'm in it right now. So I feel like I know, but there's so much more that's getting revealed as I find out. I'm currently getting a degree in psychotherapy. However, I still need 2 or 3 more years to get all my hours. And so I'm debating whether or not even to get my license and just be a woman empowerment coach. And now that I'm going to be done with grad school, I can fully invest all of myself into it. So.
Yeah.
That's nice, man. Like psychotherapy. I feel like if I wouldn't have done engineering, and if I were to do something right now because of the interest that I have in psychology, maybe I would have done something along those lines, psychotherapy. But I feel like to be a psychotherapist, you need a lot of theory, which is kind of like counterintuitive because I don't like to read that much. I mean, I'll read here and there on things that I like, but things that I want to learn, but I don't know. That's what I think, man. But when it comes to her point on going through that stage in life where you don't know what to do, I went through this when I finished college, when I had a little more time in my hands, and I started thinking, okay, what's next? So I definitely understand where she's coming from, and I think a lot of people also go through the quote-unquote quarter-life crisis, which is pretty common nowadays.
It took a minute. I mean, it was not an easy journey, and it was a lot of investing and finding out that I was investing in the wrong things. So,
I like how you changed your mind.
I had to think about it hard. I was like, wait, I really don't know.
Wait, do I? I want to say that I don't feel lost. Like, I don't feel like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. I'm actively pursuing a lot of goals right now. And I don't anticipate like one goal lasting me a lifetime.
Exactly.
She's got a point here, though. When you have a lot of interest in a lot of curiosity fields, I think personally the key is to explore them and see what happens. And then eventually you're going to find the one that you stick with, or that you stick to the most. And then maybe that's what you really want to do. Maybe that's your calling. Maybe that's your passion. But if you don't try any of the things that you want to do, then you may end up never knowing what your calling or what your passion is, or not just your passion, but what you really like, or what you're really good at. That's my point.
There you go. It's like I know all the things that I want to do. I'm just not sure which one is the, like, for you guys it's like this is it. But for me, I was like I'm dibbling dabbling in so many different things. I'm just like
I got you,
anything
bro.
could be the final goal. I just don't know which one it is. I
Oh,
want to
no, in that
perfect
case-
every craft.
So I was going to school for architecture, and I was 3 years in, and then I got into acting, and I booked a job, and then I realized I was like, whoa, I really like doing this. So dropped out of school, and I decided that I'd pursue acting instead. But that came later on, after I did 3 years of college.
But hey, maybe he would have never found out he liked acting if he never went to college, because he just said he got into an acting class. So I think the decisions that we make get us, as long as we're taking action, they get us a little closer to what we really want to do in the long term.
You know.
And I did 4. I have 3 classes before I graduated.
Really?
And I just like, I decided to leave because I felt the time for me to pursue the things I wanted to do in my life was now, and college was holding me back from that.
Education is the key to success.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. It doesn't have to be college. There's a lot of things to learn out there, not just through a university, but yes.
So when I heard education, I didn't necessarily associate it with college.
Yeah.
I just associated
Yeah.
it with gathering all the tools and the data and the knowledge, and then embodying that in whatever field you want to be successful in.
Beautifully put.
And the success too doesn't just come with luck. You know, you have to work hard at what you want to do.
And what's success?
What's your success?
Also,
Yeah.
I
Like,
took
what does it mean?
education as like a college degree when you presented that
That's
question.
what I thought
Yeah,
too.
yeah, I
Yeah.
did. That's why I didn't even walk up, because
And you have to realize, like, we learn daily. Like, every day we're learning something. And it's so funny, there's no book in front of us to learn those things that we learn. It just so happened that we crossed the right person, or someone related that information to us, or, just based off life experiences. So I don't think that you're going to be successful based on the fact that you went to school,
Yeah.
or, you're opening up a book or something.
Yeah, just because you went to college doesn't mean you're
daily it's a
successful.
learning
Yep.
experience. Every time you wake up in the morning, you should be learning something new at the end of the day. That's how I feel about life.
So we're actually more so on the same page, just on different parts of the page.
Yeah, I mean, so I personally think that, with the last question, you need college to be successful, or you need education to be successful. You do need education because you're going to have to learn new skills. You're going to have to keep leveling up your game. You're going to have to expand your knowledge. And the more knowledge that you have, the more things you can apply that knowledge to, and the more wisdom you earn, the more experience you have, and the more value in turn you can bring to the economic market. So I think that definitely education is important. Education is key, but you don't have to go to college in order to maintain your future lifestyle, whatever that happens to be. Now, when it comes to, I heard a couple of people that were having trouble kind of thinking about the college degree, and they were saying that in some cases they didn't really have luck. It didn't really work out for them. So in order for someone to have a good rate of return, or a nice return of investment upon college graduation, I think it's critical to pick a field that is actually going to give you returns. Because if you go to college and then you go to a field that is not highly sought after, then you're going to run into trouble finding a job. And if you even get student loans to go to college out of state, and you go to a private university, you get $200,000, $300,000 in debt, and then you have no college degree that is gonna, or no job that is gonna want to hire you because they don't need your skills, so you're gonna be stuck, unfortunately, who knows for how long, with that type of debt. So I think there's a lot of people that are making that mistake, especially when you're young. You're not really thinking about the future. When you're 18, 19, and you're told, you know what, you can just borrow from the government and you're going to get all these student loans, or you can get all these private loans. Don't ever get private loans, by the way. And so you get excited. You only think about the future. Oh man, I already paid my tuition. I have all this money left over. So I'm going to just go traveling. I'm going to spend it on this, on that. I'm going to get into credit card debt. And I talked about this before on how your student loans can hurt you in the long run. And once you graduate, reality starts sinking in, and you're going to start realizing, man, I made a big mistake. I didn't get a degree that is going to help me pay off these loans, and I got $100,000 in debt going to a private university that taught me nothing. So I think you should do your research. For engineers, for the main audience of my channel, definitely it's a really good field to be in, or in general, STEM fields. Not everyone has a terrible experience after going to college. I think it really, really depends on the type of field that you get into, and that's going to increase dramatically your chances of getting a nice return on your investment. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.